Grandmother planned brutal double murder, bodies found in freezer. Before we dive in, kindly hit the subscribe button and let us know where you are watching from in the comment. Oklahoma was quiet that night, calm that felt normal. But in the darkness, something evil was moving. Two women were about to vanish. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly were ordinary lives. Jobs, families, friends, routines. They never expected death to come, and certainly not in the way it did. Tifany Adams, a grandmother, was not the person anyone imagined. She smiled in church. She baked pies. She said the right words to the right people. But inside, she plotted. Meticulously, carefully. She was not careless. She had a plan to end two lives, and she would involve others. Cole Twombly, her associate, was there. Cora Twombly, Paul Grice. Each person had a role. Each knew just enough to follow instructions. The night began quietly. The women went about their normal business. They never saw it coming. The trap was laid without warning. Tifany orchestrated everything. She gave orders that others carried out. No hesitation, no second thoughts. The first strike came suddenly. A stab, pain, shock. Veronica tried to scream, but the hand over her mouth silenced her. Jillian was grabbed next. Fear filled her eyes. She saw the plan unfold before her. The freezer waited, cold and unforgiving. Bodies were stuffed in. Fingers scraped metal. Panic rose briefly, then silence. Tifany Adams remained calm. She watched. She directed. The others followed. They had to, because disobedience would mean death too. Outside, the night was still. Not a soul saw the crime. Not a sound betrayed it. The women's families noticed them missing the next day. Phones went unanswered. Voicemails left. No one imagined the truth. They called friends. Friends called police. Reports were made. But no one expected what would come next. Investigators arrived at the scene. Cow pasture, isolated. No witnesses. No signs of struggle outside. But the freezer told a story. Metal edges bent. Blood inside. Two women, dead. Stab wounds. Multiple. Brutal. Evidence of planning. The detectives immediately realized this was not a random crime. Someone had thought it through. Someone wanted them gone. And someone had executed the plan perfectly. Tifany Adams became a person of interest quickly. Her history with the victims came under scrutiny. Interviews were scheduled. Alibis questioned. The police dug deep. Every connection mattered. Every lie was examined. Cole Twombly and Cora Twombly were brought in for questioning. Paul Grice too. Under pressure, cracks appeared. Whispers. Hesitations. A story that changed depending on the question asked. Investigators sensed the truth hiding in plain sight. Someone was orchestrating. Someone had motive. And it pointed to a grandmother, an unlikely suspect. Tifany had a life outside this plan. Church, neighbors, family, people who trusted her implicitly. But the mask had slipped, and detectives smelled it. Inside the interrogation room, Tifany remained composed. Her answers were careful, measured. Her eyes never wavered. She gave details. Too many or too few, detectives debated. The pressure mounted. They had physical evidence. The freezer. Stab wounds consistent with eyewitness timelines. Witnesses. Few, but they were piecing together small details. Neighbors reported seeing unusual cars. People moving strangely in the night. Someone remembered a flashlight. Someone else heard muffled sounds. Patterns emerged. The detectives now had a map, a sequence, and the planning became clear. This was not a spur-of-the-moment crime. It was intentional. It was methodical. Tifany Adams had manipulated everyone. She had studied routines. She knew who would be where, who would cooperate, who could be intimidated. The others involved were minor players. They followed. They feared. They obeyed. And yet, their fear did not absolve them. The law saw it differently. Evidence piled up. Witness testimony. Forensic proof. Digital traces. Phones. Messages. GPS data. Even small mistakes mattered. The police knew they were close to unraveling the full story. Meanwhile, the community reacted. News spread quickly. Shock, horror, disbelief. How could a grandmother plan murder? How could anyone bury someone in a freezer? The story dominated headlines. People speculated endlessly. Some refused to believe Tifany Adams capable of such violence. Others feared the truth was worse than they imagined. Families of the victims lived in constant fear. Fear of publicity. Fear of justice being delayed. Fear of reopening wounds. Detectives continued tirelessly. Every angle, every lead, every suspect connection. The investigation uncovered hidden motives. Money, jealousy, secrets long buried. Tifany's control over the situation became more apparent. She manipulated friends. She misled authorities. Her calmness contrasted the brutality of the crime. Psychologists would later analyze this. Cold, calculating behavior. A mind willing to destroy to achieve a goal. As police worked, the suspects began to fracture. Fear of being caught. Fear of being blamed. Paranoia took hold. Whispers of betrayal. Accusations flew. Some tried to confess. Some tried to hide. The web of complicity tightened. Everyone involved was now under scrutiny. The freezer in the cow pasture became a key piece of evidence. It held the truth in cold silence. Fingerprints, DNA, blood spatter, clues Tifany could not erase. Investigators analyzed every angle. The pattern emerged clearly. She planned it all. She executed it through others. The shock to the public was immense. How could someone so ordinary do something so evil? The narrative fascinated people. Grandmother killer, frozen victims, Oklahoma horror story. News crews descended. Neighbors spoke reluctantly. Everyone knew pieces of the story. No one knew the whole thing yet. And Tifany Adams maintained her composure publicly. Smiles, polite words, church attendance. The contrast between her public persona and private evil was unnerving. Inside, investigators mapped the timeline. When the women left home, when they disappeared, when the freezer was moved, how long they were alive, how long they were hidden. It became clear this was planned days, maybe weeks in advance. Every action deliberate, every movement calculated. The accomplices became essential witnesses. Without them, the case would have faltered. But under pressure, they began to talk. Details emerged. The story was horrifying. The motivations, the instructions, the execution, all tied back to Tifany Adams. She was no longer a suspect. She was the orchestrator, the mastermind. The courtroom battles were inevitable. The trial would shock even seasoned observers. And the community waited for justice, for answers, for closure that might never come. The chilling reality was clear. The grandmother planned a brutal double murder. The freezer was proof. The accomplice's testimony was proof. The victim's absence was proof. And soon, the story would reach every corner of the nation. It was a story of planning, of betrayal, of innocence destroyed. It was the beginning of a nightmare no one could have imagined. And the full truth was only just beginning to unfold. The investigation gained speed. The pressure mounted. Detectives could feel it. Every lead mattered. Every phone record. Every witness. The first break came from a neighbor. Someone noticed unusual activity the night of the disappearances. Car parked for hours. Lights flickering. Movement in the darkness. Nothing obvious, but enough to catch attention. Detectives traced the vehicle to Cole Twombly. Questions were immediate. Where were you that night? What were you doing? Cole hesitated. Small cracks began to show. Tension built. Cora Twombly was next. She had stayed close to Tifany Adams. She had trusted her. But fear had crept in. She knew the police were watching. They asked about movements, about conversations, about instructions. Her story wavered. Detectives pushed. Pressure revealed inconsistencies. People lie under stress. But fear exposes truth. Paul Grice was harder. He claimed ignorance, denial. but physical evidence tied him to the crime. Fingerprints, footprints, DNA traces. Detectives presented facts calmly. The room was silent. The weight of evidence spoke louder than questions. All paths led to Tifany Adams, the grandmother orchestrator. She had planned meticulously. Every step accounted for, every accomplice needed. Her motives remained murky. Money? Power? Revenge? Detectives would unravel it piece by piece. The freezer remained critical evidence. It held everything: blood, clothing, hairs, fibers, evidence of struggle. Each piece told a story of control, a planning, of cold calculation. Interviews continued. Witnesses emerged. Some spoke reluctantly. Others offered key details voluntarily. Patterns formed. The women had been stalked, observed, their routines studied. Someone knew when they would be alone, when they could be vulnerable. The level of detail shocked investigators. It wasn't impulsive. It was deliberate. A blueprint of murder. The accomplices' cooperation was slow. Fear held them back. But eventually, the weight of consequences forced confessions. Each person revealed pieces of the puzzle. The puzzle pointed straight back to Tifany Adams. She had given explicit instructions. She had managed timing. She had manipulated the others. The psychological profile emerged. Tifany was methodical, cold, unflinching. Her public persona was a mask. Her private self orchestrated terror. Detectives began reconstructing the timeline. Every hour, every movement, it became horrifyingly clear. The women had little chance. Resistance was futile. Escape nearly impossible. The accomplices had blocked all paths. The trap was complete. Police found messages on phones, plans documented, disguised as harmless notes. But the meaning was unmistakable. Murder had been scheduled, executed with precision. The town reeled. Oklahoma had never seen such a case. A grandmother planning murder. 2 young women dead. Betrayal on every level. People questioned what they knew about their neighbors, about friends, about family. Everyone wondered how a seemingly normal person could orchestrate this. News spread quickly. Headlines screamed. Shocked citizens demanded answers. Detectives gave little. They wanted silence until the case was airtight. But speculation ran rampant. Social media exploded. Rumors spread. Neighbors spoke quietly. Who had noticed small things? Who had ignored warning signs? Fear grew in the community. Some worried about safety. Others worried about trust. Because this crime tore at the fabric of ordinary life. People looked at each other differently. Suspicion became normal. Even friends questioned each other. Meanwhile, the accomplices faced internal conflict. Cole Twombly and Cora Twombly were scared. Guilt gnawed at them. Fear of betrayal weighed heavily. One wrong word could send them to prison. They tried to rationalize their participation. Tifany had convinced them it was necessary. They followed her. They obeyed. But morality does not disappear. And fear does not erase conscience. The police had to separate them, isolate them for questioning. One confession led to another. The puzzle completed itself slowly. Every detail confirmed what the freezer already proved. The crime had been planned, the execution meticulous, the mastermind clear. Tifany Adams, grandmother, killer. Her motives were finally uncovered. Greed, envy, a personal vendetta that escalated into murder. Detectives documented every conversation, every instruction, every lie uncovered. The legal case began forming. The charges were massive. Murder in the first degree, conspiracy, accessory to murder, evidence stacked against all involved. No room for error, no weakness left unexposed. The media picked up the story. National attention arrived. Shocked audiences watched. Grandmother killer, frozen victims, Oklahoma horror story, felt surreal. Even police officers were shaken. This was methodical evil. And it came from someone trusted, from someone loved, from someone who seemed ordinary. The accomplices began cooperating fully. They described the planning, the manipulation, the cold calculation. The day of the murders was laid bare. Every step, every action, every instruction. The timeline was precise. Detectives reconstructed it for court. The case was airtight. The victims' families were informed. They were devastated. Pain consumed them. Grief, rage, confusion. They tried to understand. But the human mind struggles with evil so deliberate. The courthouse was busy. Pretrial motions filled calendars. Defense lawyers scrambled. Attempts to minimize culpability emerged. Psychologists were consulted. Mental state evaluated. But the evidence was clear. Planning, execution, obedience to a mastermind, all pointed to guilt. Tifany Adams was no ordinary defendant. Her demeanor unsettled the court. Polite, calm, unrepentant. Even in the face of mounting evidence, she smiled. It was a chilling contrast. The accomplices' testimony would be devastating. They knew what they did, and they knew who had orchestrated it. The community prepared for the trial. Emotions ran high. Fear, anger, shock. Everyone knew someone involved personally. Everyone feared another secret might emerge. Detectives worked tirelessly, filing evidence, preparing statements. Every detail mattered, because in high-profile cases, small mistakes can unravel everything. The freezer remained central. It was a cold reminder of brutality. Each photo, each report, every forensic test confirmed the horrors. Stab wounds, blood spatter, fibers, DNA matches. Everything pointed to the same conclusion. 2 women killed, buried in a freezer, by a grandmother who planned every step. The accomplices, now cooperating, revealed even more disturbing details. The psychological manipulation, the coercion, the cold instructions. It painted a picture of evil well beyond ordinary comprehension. Neighbors continued to speculate. Friends whispered. The community tried to reconcile. How could someone so familiar commit such atrocities? It shook trust to the core. No one felt safe. Not for months, even years. The trial preparation began. Lawyers reviewed every transcript, every forensic report, every statement. The case was now national news. Documentaries and news outlets highlighted it. The story of 2 women murdered in a freezer by a grandmother captured attention. Shock, horror, disbelief. People could not comprehend it. Psychologists weighed in publicly. They explained manipulation, coercion, cold calculation. They described traits consistent with sociopathy. The public listened, horrified. For more chilling true crime stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The trial loomed. The city held its breath. News cameras lined the streets. Reporters whispered outside the courthouse. The story of Tifany Adams and the freezer murders had gripped the nation. Inside the courthouse, preparations were meticulous. Lawyers reviewed evidence. Detectives briefed prosecutors. Every detail mattered. Every witness could change the outcome. The first day of testimony arrived. Families of the victims took seats in the front row. Grief was visible. Rage simmered quietly beneath the surface. Every eye followed Tifany Adams as she entered the room. Calm, polite, collected. A grandmother, killer. The juxtaposition unsettled everyone. The prosecution opened with the sequence of events. They described the disappearances, the planning, the execution. They detailed how Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly were lured, trapped, and murdered. The jury listened intently. Evidence photographs were displayed. The freezer, blood spatter patterns, stab wounds, fibers. Every detail corroborated the accomplices' statements. Cole Twombly was first to testify. He described Tifany's manipulation, how she convinced them to participate, how she controlled every move. Fear kept them in line. Every word he spoke made the courtroom colder. Cora Twombly followed. Her voice trembled at times. She described the moment the women were killed. The panic, the silence, the freezer. She admitted complicity, but she made clear it was Tifany's plan. Paul Grice testified next. He explained the coercion, the intimidation, the detailed instructions from Tifany Adams. The jury heard it all. The calculated cruelty, the cold planning. The prosecution painted a picture of a mastermind. Tifany Adams smiled lightly at times. Her calm unnerved everyone. Psychologists would later describe it as controlled detachment. The defense tried to counter. They argued she was not physically present during the killings. They questioned the reliability of accomplice testimony. They attempted to minimize her role, but physical evidence was damning. Fingerprints, DNA, communications. Every digital trace pointed to Tifany. The judge reminded the jury to focus on facts, not emotion, not speculation. Facts, but emotion was impossible to ignore. The families of the victims shared stories. Stories of the women before death. Laughter, dreams, plans. Every statement emphasized the lives stolen. The courtroom grew tense. Tears were shed. Anger was palpable. Outside, media coverage surged. The story spread beyond Oklahoma. Nationwide audiences followed every update. The psychological profile of Tifany Adams became a focal point. Cold, calculating, methodical, manipulative. The media called it a rare case of a female mastermind behind brutal murders. The accomplices' testimonies revealed more than expected. How Tifany had studied routines. How she knew exactly when the women would be alone. How she used fear to control her associates. Every step planned. Every detail considered. The freezer was central. Evidence showed it was moved carefully. Hidden. Concealing the crime. Investigators explained how long the victims were held. The sequence of events. The time of death. Forensic experts described it meticulously. The jury absorbed every fact. It was brutal, horrifying, unforgettable. Psychologists testified about manipulation tactics. How fear and loyalty could compel compliance. How ordinary people could become accomplices. They explained Tifany's calm demeanor. Calculated, unflinching, detached. The defense countered with arguments about mental state. They suggested stress and external pressures might have affected judgment. The prosecution disagreed. Every word, every action of Tifany Adams had been intentional. The evidence was overwhelming. Each accomplice corroborated the other. Every timeline matched. Every forensic detail aligned. The jury had no doubt about planning and execution. The trial was long. Day after day, witnesses gave testimony. Photos displayed evidence. Experts explained technical details. Neighbors shared observations. Digital records proved communications. Messages, calls, timestamps. Nothing left to chance. The accomplices recounted fear and obedience. Every act orchestrated. Every movement directed. The prosecution emphasized motive. Money, envy, personal grievances. Planning demonstrated control. Malice, premeditation. The jury listened carefully. The courtroom remained tense. No one spoke unnecessarily. Every eye focused. The victims' families followed each word closely. Emotions ran high. Some sobbed quietly. Others stared at Tifany Adams, unable to comprehend her calm. The community outside awaited updates. Every news report analyzed details. Speculation ran rampant. Commentators dissected motives. The public was captivated. Shock, horror, fascination. The courtroom atmosphere became electric. Every day revealed new details. Every testimony added to the horror. Tifany's planning was meticulous. She orchestrated fear, control, manipulation. Her accomplices admitted acting out of fear, but they were also complicit. Legal experts discussed degrees of culpability. The public debated. Could someone so calm commit such atrocities? Was evil really hidden behind normalcy? The trial explored the human psyche, obedience under fear, influence of authority, the psychological burden of murder. Forensic experts reconstructed the crime. Every stab, every placement in the freezer, every attempt to conceal, every trace left behind. The jury saw the methodical nature, the coldness, the deliberate cruelty. Tifany Adams remained poised. She spoke when required, polite, measured, controlled. Her calm unnerved everyone. Psychologists testified about her ability to detach, to manipulate, to plan violence. The prosecution summarized with clarity. 2 women, dead, brutally stabbed, hidden in a freezer, all orchestrated by Tifany Adams. The accomplices corroborated. Evidence confirmed. The jury's task became simple. Did she plan it? Did she direct it? Could she be responsible? The answer was clear. Yes. Every piece fit. The defense tried to create doubt, but the details were overwhelming. The crime was meticulously planned. The mastermind identified. The execution flawless in its horror. Outside, communities reacted. Fear lingered. Trust diminished. People questioned ordinary appearances. The story dominated media coverage. Grandmother killer, freezer murders, Oklahoma horror, captured imagination. It shocked people nationwide. The accomplices' cooperation was key. Without their testimonies, prosecution would have struggled. With them, the picture was complete. The timeline, motive, and method were undeniable. The jury absorbed evidence, photographs, testimony, expert analysis. The courtroom was tense. Families of the victims sat silently. Each moment reopened wounds. Pain and grief were constant. Tifany Adams' calm contrasted the horror. It was chilling. The psychological impact on witnesses was profound. Stress, fear, and disbelief combined. The trial was a marathon. Daily testimony, evidence review, expert analysis. The public followed closely. The story spread through media. Social media amplified horror and fascination. The trial became national news. People debated motives. Moral questions emerged. Could evil hide in normality? The courtroom revealed answers. Planning, execution, obedience, manipulation, control. Every piece of evidence supported the prosecution. The freezer remained central. The courtroom was silent. Every eye fixed on Tifany Adams, the grandmother who had orchestrated a brutal double murder. 2 women had died, buried in a freezer. The horror was undeniable. The prosecution began their closing arguments. They recapped the evidence meticulously. Every detail, every witness, every confession. The jury listened intently. The first image was the freezer. Cold metal, blood still evident in forensic photos. The crime scene had been analyzed thoroughly. Stab wounds, fiber evidence, blood spatter patterns. Every trace left behind told a story of planning, a story of control. The prosecution reminded the jury of Tifany Adams' manipulation, how she coerced her accomplices, how fear kept them silent. Every movement had been her direction, every action orchestrated. The motive was clear: greed, jealousy, envy, personal vendettas that escalated into murder. The jury's attention did not waver. Witness after witness had testified. Cole Twombly, Cora Twombly, Paul Grice. All had confessed. All had described fear. All had pointed to Tifany as the mastermind. The prosecution emphasized premeditation. This was not random, not impulsive. Every step was calculated, every detail considered. The accomplices' actions were deliberate, but guided. And the guidance came from Tifany Adams. The defense tried to create doubt. They claimed Tifany was not physically present at the murders. They suggested fear and stress affected judgment. But the evidence was overwhelming. Every digital trace, every communication, every instruction given, everything corroborated. The jury saw the planning unfold, the careful orchestration, the psychological manipulation, the freezing of 2 lives in a metal coffin. The impact on the victims' families was immense. They had already endured months of uncertainty. Now the truth was fully revealed, and the horror was absolute. Psychologists testified about Tifany's detachment, her ability to plan, to manipulate, to remain calm while instructing others to commit murder. The jury absorbed it all. The court remained tense. No one spoke unnecessarily. The weight of the crime filled the room. Outside, media coverage exploded. National attention focused on a grandmother, killer, 2 victims, a freezer. Oklahoma was stunned. People questioned how ordinary life could mask extraordinary evil. Neighbors spoke quietly. Friends whispered. Everyone wondered if they had missed the warning signs. The trial continued. Forensic experts detailed the crime meticulously. The path of each victim, the stab wounds, the movement into the freezer, every effort to conceal, every trace left behind. The accomplices' fear and obedience became the center of testimony. They described Tifany's instructions, the timing, the control, the manipulation. The jury saw it clearly. The mastermind was undeniable. Tifany Adams remained calm, polite, measured, controlled. Her demeanor unnerved everyone. The prosecution presented the timeline of events. Every hour accounted for, every movement mapped, every detail confirmed by forensic evidence. The accomplices corroborated the story. The jury could see the premeditation, the planning, the cold calculation. The defense struggled. Attempts to minimize culpability failed. Physical evidence was overwhelming. Digital communications confirmed instructions. Witness testimony confirmed planning. Forensic evidence confirmed execution. The courtroom absorbed every detail. The story was horrifying. Every day revealed new elements. Every witness revealed more. The psychological manipulation was evident. Tifany Adams had controlled every move, every participant, every accomplice, every moment of the crime. The freezer was a silent witness. It held the proof of brutality. 2 women, stabbed, buried, frozen. The jury could not ignore it. The accomplices described the fear and obedience that led to participation. Every instruction followed, every action controlled. The prosecution emphasized the deliberate nature of the murders. Every step planned, every detail considered. The horror of the crime was undeniable. The jury absorbed it all. The public watched closely. The story gripped the nation. Media coverage detailed every testimony, every forensic fact, every confessional statement. People were shocked. A grandmother had masterminded a brutal double murder. The accomplices had revealed everything. The evidence was undeniable. The psychological profile of Tifany Adams was chilling, detached, calculating, manipulative. Every action was measured, every instruction precise, every fear exploited. The jury was left with no doubt. The planning, the execution, the manipulation, all pointed to Tifany. The prosecution moved to close. They summarized the crime, the planning, the motive, the method, the accomplices' corroboration, the evidence undeniable. 2 women dead, brutally stabbed, hidden in a freezer, all orchestrated by Tifany Adams. The courtroom tension was immense. The families of the victims watched silently. Grief and anger were palpable. The defense attempted final arguments. They questioned reliability. They questioned motives. They attempted to cast doubt. But the evidence was overwhelming. Every detail confirmed premeditation. Every witness confirmed planning. Every forensic detail confirmed execution. The jury could see the pattern, the calculated brutality, the orchestration, the psychological control, the fear instilled in accomplices. The courtroom remained silent. The story was complete. Every piece fit together. The horror was total. The victims' lives stolen. The freezer a chilling centerpiece. The accomplices' confessions critical. The jury faced a clear picture. The mastermind, the planner, the orchestrator, Tifany Adams. The public absorbed the news. The media analyzed every detail. Experts discussed manipulation and control. The community processed shock. Neighbors wondered how someone ordinary could hide extraordinary evil. The accomplices had painted a clear picture. Their fear, obedience, and complicity revealed the depth of planning. Tifany Adams remained calm, controlled, and unflinching. The courtroom drama gripped the nation. The trial moved steadily toward conclusion. The prosecution had left no doubt. premeditation, planning, execution, manipulation, control. Every detail meticulously documented. The jury absorbed every word. The families of the victims found some relief. Truth revealed. Horror undeniable. Justice awaiting. The freezer remained central. 2 women, their lives taken in cold precision. The accomplices had revealed everything. The mastermind unmistakable. The trial set the stage for sentencing. Every day had exposed new layers. Every witness confirmed planning. Every forensic detail corroborated. The jury faced the evidence. The horror, the manipulation, the death of 2 women orchestrated by a grandmother. The city remained gripped. Shock, disbelief, horror. The story had captured the nation. Grandmother killer, frozen victims, Oklahoma nightmare. The trial had revealed everything. The accomplices' confessions undeniable. The mastermind clear. The victims remembered. The freezer silent witness to evil. Every detail documented. Every fact confirmed. The public waited for judgment. The final verdict would bring closure. The story of manipulation, fear, and control would conclude. But the horror remained. Tifany Adams had orchestrated 2 murders. The evidence undeniable. The accomplices' testimony chilling. The freezer proof of brutality. Every moment deliberate. Every action controlled. The courtroom was tense. Every seat filled. Every eye watching. The jury prepared to deliver their verdict. Months of testimony. Thousands of details. Horrifying evidence. All led to this moment. Tifany Adams sat calmly. Her demeanor still controlled. Her face unreadable. The families of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly waited. Their grief and rage palpable. The public had followed every step. Every confession. Every forensic detail. Every accomplice testimony. The freezer, the planning, the murders etched into national memory. The judge reminded the jury of their duty. Focus only on evidence. Ignore emotion. Focus on facts. But emotion was impossible to ignore. The first foreperson stood. The words were heavy. Guilty. The room gasped. Tears flowed freely. Sobs echoed quietly. The victims' families cried openly. Justice had been served. The accomplices had helped reveal the full truth. Their fear, their confessions crucial to the verdict. Tifany Adams remained calm. Her eyes betrayed nothing. Polite, composed, detached. The judge read the verdict aloud again. Guilty on all counts. Premeditated murder. Conspiracy. Accessory to murder. The courtroom shook with emotion. Some cried quietly. Others whispered relief. Some stared in disbelief. The public outside celebrated quietly. News cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. The story spread nationwide. A grandmother. A mastermind. 2 frozen victims. Oklahoma horror. The sentencing phase began immediately. The prosecution argued for life without parole. Tifany Adams posed a continuous threat. Her planning and manipulation proved danger to society. No rehabilitation. No mercy. The defense tried to appeal. They emphasized age, mental state, but the evidence was overwhelming. Every act was deliberate. Every detail controlled. The judge listened intently. The freezing of 2 innocent lives. The orchestration through accomplices. The premeditated brutality. No mitigating factor could outweigh the crime. The sentence was pronounced. Life without parole. The courtroom erupted in emotion. Families sobbed. Some shouted. Justice had been served. Tifany Adams remained composed. Her eyes betrayed no emotion. Her calm unnerved everyone. Outside the courtroom, the city reacted. The story dominated headlines. Grandmother killer. Frozen victims. Oklahoma horror. Social media exploded. People debated motives. Manipulation. Fear. Obedience. How a grandmother could orchestrate death. The accomplices faced sentencing separately. Some received reduced sentences due to cooperation. They revealed all details in exchange for leniency. The stories they told were chilling. Every instruction from Tifany described. Every fear exploited. Every action controlled. The media covered every detail. Interviews with psychologists dissected manipulation tactics. Fear, obedience, control. Every ordinary participant turned into an accomplice. The community remained shaken. Neighbors wondered how evil could hide behind normalcy. Trust eroded. People questioned ordinary appearances, even close friends. The city tried to recover. Families of the victims mourned privately, their pain immense. But relief mingled with grief. Justice was finally delivered. Forensic evidence remained key. The freezer, blood, DNA, fibers. Every detail confirmed the horror. Every trace pointed to Tifany Adams. The accomplices confirmed it. The jury confirmed it. The public understood it. The story became part of criminal history. Cautionary tale. A reminder of manipulation. The danger of obedience under fear. The trial exposed evil in the most ordinary places. The grandmother mask had hidden the mastermind. Her control was total. The accomplices revealed it fully. The victims' lives were gone. But the truth came out. Closure arrived. The courtroom cleared slowly. Families hugged. Reporters whispered to each other. Lawyers filed papers. Tifany Adams remained escorted by guards. Her composure still unnerving. Life behind bars awaited. The freezer murders would be studied in law schools, in criminal psychology classes, in forensic programs. A chilling case study. Manipulation, planning, obedience, and execution. Every participant had a role. Every step documented. Every detail confirmed. The accomplices faced lifelong consequences. But their cooperation helped deliver justice. The community slowly healed. Fear lingered. Trust took time to rebuild. Neighbors watched each other differently. People questioned ordinary appearances. The public followed the aftermath. Books were written. Podcasts analyzed motives. Psychologists dissected manipulation. The horror remained unforgettable. Families continued private mourning. But justice brought some closure. Tifany Adams was now a symbol. A mastermind grandmother. The freezer murders. A story of premeditation and control. 2 lives stolen. Orchestrated methodically. Executed through fear and manipulation. The accomplice's testimony remained key. Without it, conviction might have been harder. The psychological profile remained chilling. Detached. Calculating. Manipulative. The trial had exposed everything. Planning, execution, motive, and manipulation. The community learned a harsh lesson. Evil can hide behind normalcy. Obedience can make ordinary people accomplices. The freezer remained silent evidence. 2 women. Stabbed. Buried. Frozen. Justice prevailed. The accomplices faced sentencing, each with consequences proportional to their role. The victims' families finally had answers. Pain mingled with relief. The story would not be forgotten. It would be told for years. Grandmother killer. Freezer murders. Oklahoma horror. The trial had revealed the full picture. Planning. Fear. Obedience. Execution. Justice delivered. The nation watched. The horror unforgettable. The community shocked. And yet the truth had been uncovered. The accomplices had revealed everything. The mastermind had been identified. Tifany Adams would spend life behind bars. The victims remembered. The freezer stood as a symbol of horror, a planning, of evil hidden in normalcy. The story was complete. Justice delivered. And the nightmare finally ended. For more chilling true crime stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.